Right now, if you're planning to become a U.S. citizen, you might be about to lose over $500 without even doing anything wrong. And I'm not exaggerating, because the Department of Homeland Security just proposed the biggest citizenship fee hike in U.S. history, and almost nobody is talking about the deadline attached to it. Let's break this down properly because the numbers here are brutal. Right now, filing Form N-400, the naturalization application, costs $760 if you file on paper and $710 if you file online. Under the new DHS proposal, that paper fee jumps to $1,330 and the online fee jumps to $1,280. That's a 75 to 80% increase on a single form for a benefit that used to be treated as something the government actively wanted to encourage. And it doesn't stop there, because if your naturalization application gets denied and you want to appeal it using Form N-336, that fee is going from $830 to $1,475 on paper and from $780 to $1,425 online. Think about that for a second. Appealing a denial could now cost you more than the original application itself used to cost. But here's the part that should actually worry you the most, and it's the part most channels covering this story are burying at the bottom instead of leading with it. DHS wants to completely eliminate the reduced fee and fee waiver system. Right now, if your household income is at or below 400% of the federal poverty guidelines, you can qualify for a reduced fee of just $380, or in some cases, a full fee waiver if you genuinely can't afford it. Under this new rule, that entire safety net disappears. Every single applicant, regardless of income, pays the same $1,330. The only group still exempt is active duty and former military members, because that exemption is required by statute and can't be removed through this kind of rule. So if you're a lower-income green card holder who's been saving up, budgeting around that $380 number, this proposal erases that plan entirely. Now let's talk about why DHS says they're doing this, because their own language in the filing is honestly pretty revealing. DHS stated that they've historically kept naturalization fees low to encourage citizenship, but they explicitly said, and I'm paraphrasing their filing here, that they no longer believe naturalization benefits should be priced below cost at the expense of other immigration programs. In plain English, they're saying you should now pay the full cost of your own background checks, vetting, and processing, instead of having part of that cost spread across other visa categories the way it's worked for years. This fits into a much bigger pattern this year of USCIS shifting toward a full cost recovery model across almost every benefit category, and naturalization was one of the last ones still getting a break. So now here's the part where I need you to actually pay attention, because this is where most people watching this video are going to make a costly mistake. This is currently a proposed rule, not a final rule. That means the current fees, $760 paper, $710 online DOS, are still active right now, today, while you're watching this. DHS published this proposal in the Federal Register on June 23, 2026, and opened a 60-day public comment period. That comment period closes on August 24, 2026. If you're watching this anywhere close to when I'm publishing it, that means you have a genuinely narrow window left before that comment period ends and DHS moves toward finalizing this rule. Now, a final rule doesn't get published overnight the day comments close. There's usually a review period afterward, but the moment DHS locks in a final effective date, anyone who filed before that date keeps the old, lower fee. Anyone who files after gets hit with the new one. So if you are already eligible for naturalization right now, meaning you've held your green card for 5 years, or 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you've maintained continuous residence, and you meet the good moral character requirement. This is genuinely one of those moments where waiting could cost you real money. I want to be really clear here though, because I'm not going to tell you to rush into filing an application you're not ready for just because of a deadline. Filing before you have your documentation in order or before you're actually eligible can get your application delayed or denied, and that creates way more problems than the fee increase itself. If you're unsure about your eligibility timeline or whether your specific situation qualifies you to file now, that's a conversation to have with an immigration attorney, not something to guess at based on a YouTube video. What I do want you to walk away from this video with is awareness, because DHS is not hiding this. It's sitting in a public Federal Register notice right now, docket number USCIS 2026-0265, but almost nobody outside of immigration law circles is actually seeing this before it's too late to act on it. And that's exactly why I'm making this video today, instead of waiting until this becomes final and everyone suddenly asking why nobody warned them. If this rule finalizes the way it's currently written, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of green card holders who were planning to naturalize this year or next year, suddenly facing a bill that's nearly double what they budgeted for, and an entire group of lower-income applicants losing access to any reduced fee pathway at all. So if you or someone in your family has been putting off filing for citizenship, thinking you had plenty of time, this is the moment to actually check where you stand, because the version of this process that exists today might not exist in a few months. I'll be tracking this rule as it moves through the finalization process, so if you want to know the exact moment this becomes official and what the real effective date ends up being, make sure you're subscribed and you've got notifications on, because I guarantee DHS is not going to send you a heads up before this hits. Drop a comment and let me know where you are in your naturalization timeline right now, because I read every single one of them. And if this video helped you understand what's actually happening here, send it to someone in your life who's been putting off their citizenship application, because right now, timing might genuinely be the difference between $760 and $1,330.